the news. PDP approves repeat of primaries in Lagos, Imo, Benue and Kano states. Gunshot wound in chest kills Sudanese protester during rally after lift of state of emergency. Don't humiliate Russia despite Putin's historic mistake, Macron says. Details shortly. This is TOS Television, your digital-first Pan-African news network. I am Abigail Lukmade and this is TOS News 360. We begin with politics ahead of the 2023 elections. The composition of the delegates that will elect the presidential candidate of the ruling All Progressives Congress on June 6 remains a subject of controversy as a federal high court in Kano State on Friday ruled that Section 84 of the Electoral Act did not prevent statutory delegates from voting. The judgment means that statutory delegates of each political party should not be denied participation in subsequent congresses and conventions, especially the forthcoming National Convention of the APC. Statutory delegates include persons holding executive positions in the party and members of the party elected into public offices. APC on Saturday released the names of 13 political aspirants cleared to contest in the primaries on Monday. They include Badaru Abubakar, Godswill Akpabio, Rotimi Amechi, Ibikunle Amosun, Yahya Bello, Kayode John Fayemi, Teng Jack Rich, Ahmed Lawan, Uwazwake Ingwajiuba, Christopher Onu, Yemi Oshibajo, Bola Ahmed Asiwaju Tinubu, and David Umahi. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari is expected to travel to Ghana on Saturday, after which he will meet with the ruling All Progressives Congress presidential aspirants on Sunday. Buhari, who has been in and out of the country lately amid the leadership crisis rocking the party, will believably seek to enforce his consensus candidate on the aspirants. On Tuesday, Buhari met with APC governors ahead of the party's convention. The meeting came amid speculations that the president may appoint an aspirant before the convention. And the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has approved repeat of primaries in Lagos, Imo, Benue and Kano states between June 5 and 6. PDP, in a statement by its National Publicity Secretary, Debo Olunugagba, on Saturday explained that it took the decision after very careful deliberations on the report of the electoral and appeal panels on the congresses held in those states. Now to developments across Africa. 2 United Nations peacekeepers were killed in Mali on Friday, and 2 more were injured when their vehicle hit an improvised explosive device, UN spokesman Stephanie Dujarric said. Friday's incident is the 6th incident in which a UN peacekeeping convoy was hit since May 2022, Dujarric said. One UN peacekeeper was killed and 3 more injured in an attack in Mali on Wednesday. Now, a protester died from a gunshot wound in the chest in Sudan's capital, Khartoum, on Friday, medics said, as demonstrators rallied across the country less than a week after military rulers lifted a state of emergency. The Central Committee of Sudanese Doctors said the protester who died on Friday was killed as security forces used heavy gunfire against rallies in Khartoum's Sahafa district. The protest marked the 3rd anniversary of a deadly raid on a sit-in calling for a civilian rule, shortly after the overthrow of long-time autocratic leader Omar al-Bashir. This is your digital-first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. You're watching TOS News 360. Global plus business and entertainment stories when we return. To stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. On Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Senegal's President Macky Sall said Russia's Vladimir Putin had told him on Friday he was ready to enable the export of Ukrainian grain to ease a global food crisis that is hitting Africa especially hard. Sall did not say if Putin had attached any conditions to his offer. Putin also denied Moscow was responsible for the global food crisis and was preventing Ukrainian ports from exporting grain. Russia had previously said it was ready to allow vessels carrying food to leave Ukraine in return for the lifting of some Western sanctions against it, a proposal that Ukraine has described as blackmail. Now, French President Emmanuel Macron said it is vital that Russia is not humiliated so that when the fighting stops in Ukraine, a diplomatic solution can be found, adding that he believed Paris would play a mediating role to end the conflict. Macron has sought to maintain a dialogue with Russian President Vladimir Putin since Moscow's invasion of Ukraine in February. His stance has been repeatedly criticized by some Eastern and Baltic partners in Europe as they see it as undermining efforts to pressure Putin to the negotiating table. And on climate change, concentrations of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere in May were 50% higher than during the pre-industrial era, reaching levels not seen on Earth for about 4 million years, the main U.S. climate agency said on Friday. The amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere passed the threshold of 420 parts per million, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration said. Last May, the rate was at 419 ppm, and in 2020, it was at 417 ppm. And now on the business scene. Russia held nearly a third of the world's yuan in reserves by December last year, amid the decline of the dollar's share of global foreign exchange reserves. This was disclosed by the International Monetary Fund in a blog post titled "Dollar Dominance and the Rise of Non-Traditional Reserve Currencies." The IMF indicated that the central banks aren't holding the greenback in their reserves to the extent that they once did. And in entertainment, singer Mariah Carey is being sued for copyright infringement over her 1994 Christmas mega hit, All I Want for Christmas Is You. Songwriter Andy Stone says he co-wrote a song with the same name 5 years earlier, arguing that Carey exploited his popularity and style. Stone, who performs under the name Vince Vance with the band Vince Vance and The Valiants, is claiming at least $20 million in damages. Carey has not yet responded. And that is it on TOS News 360 on your digital-first Pan-African News Network. For more updates, to visit www.tostvnetwork.com. Do follow and like our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Remember to subscribe on YouTube. Do stay with us and enjoy more programs on TOS Television Network. I am Abigail Lukmade. Thanks for watching.